Welcome to the Give It a Nudge podcast. Thanks for joining us. Each week, you're going to hear stories from founders, VCs, and private equity leaders from across the industry. We hope that these stories are going to give you insights to help you on your journey, and we'd love you to be part of our community. So please hit that subscribe button, and let's get on with the show. Welcome to Give It a Nudge, everybody. We have an extremely special episode today where, if anyone who's been following the show remembers episode number 1, we had Dan Hakim, who was at the time the founder of CUB. He still is the founder of CUB, but now he's back, and I think this is about episode 98 to talk about his new venture, Boa. So welcome back, Dan. How cool.
I know. I thought I was going to be at least 100. I thought I was going to be number 1 and then 100.
We could play around, but I want to be 100.
Okay, yeah. That's a fair point.
But yeah, it's been 2 years. Can you believe it?
Really?
It's been 2 years since we did episode 1. And I got you on because you've always got so much energy, and I thought it'd be a super easy episode for my first one.
It was easy when you talk to your friends, but your show's taken off. I see your show everywhere.
It is everywhere, yeah. We make sure of that.
How weird is it now that you're introducing me as the founder of Boa? It's not even just CUB. Well, it was always Daniel, the CUB Daniel.
It was.
Now I've got to get used to changing that.
It's cool. And we had the launch party last night, which I think was your speech, by the way. A lot of humility. Really liked it. No, I really, really liked it. And it wasn't too long, which was good. No, I thought it was a good event. I thought everyone was super positive about it. I've seen the pictures. They're everywhere on social media today. But yeah, I really liked your speech. I did. I thought it was good.
But that's what everyone says when you screw up your speech. Well,
you did. You had a fair few. Yeah, like I said, a lot of humility.
Such a humble speech. Yeah, thanks, guys. But it was a good event. Honestly, it was tremendously successful. We've generated so much press already from it. The app's
exploding.
Yes, which is a bit scary because it's the start. You know, we're still very much learning. As you know, CUB is a members club for entrepreneurs and business owners. It's physical.
Yeah.
It's a bit more traditional. Boa is the tech world. I've never been in the world of tech before. I'm extremely excited to get in there, but you know, having that many people flood into a platform that you've built very quickly, it also makes you feel a bit naked because you're like, what do they all think?
And feeling vulnerable.
Yeah, and you get a lot of messages, and so it is no.
So let's talk about it. Yeah. Let's tell the audience what is Boa. What's your elevator pitch? Hit me with it.
Well, I mean, in short, it's a social media that's exclusively for entrepreneurs and business owners.
Yep.
It's going to simplify the way we connect and support each other as a national business community.
Okay, so it's Australia only right now?
It will be global. So our goal is to build the world's largest network of business owners.
Good goal.
And the reason, it's a big goal, which I'm aware of, and we want to start with Australia, obviously, but the reason that is our goal is an important one. And that is that I believe that every entrepreneur on the planet should have access to the network or to a network of like-minded individuals that can help them navigate the very difficult journey of business.
Yep.
And that's something that I know very well. Running CUB for 8 years, I've seen firsthand the incredible advantage people like me and you have being involved in such a strong community.
Yep.
And when COVID hit, our CUB members, I thought I was done for.
I remember.
As I said in my speech yesterday, I was like, fuck, I'm screwed.
I mean, I've been there 8 years, so I've seen that whole journey. And I remember, you were pretty quiet.
But well, it was scary.
It was scary.
I'm sure it was scary for everyone, but it was scary. But anyway, so I thought CUB was done for. I was really worried. And I'm thinking, is anyone going to join? And why would our members stay? Because, you know, we're a networking company. We bring people together for a living.
Yep.
And we weren't able to do that. Anyway, very quickly realized, well, they did stay. And in fact, we started growing faster than ever. And that's when it hit me that our members were more engaged than ever before digitally, helping each other, doing well through that period. And it made me think, well, how are the other 2.4 million business owners in Australia alone?
At home.
Yeah. How are they connecting?
Yeah.
And who's supporting them? And I mean, the answer is, well, there wasn't a major platform for business owners to simply connect with each other on. And while there are other platforms, other great platforms, they're just not the appropriate place for us to discuss the things that matter to us with a community who get us. In fact, on other social medias and platforms, we always have to look perfect. Like we're always killing it. There's nothing ever wrong. Like, it's this fantasy of business, but I think we all know as business owners, that's just not the reality.
It's not the reality at all.
No.
It's not.
And the reality is that business is challenging, and being a business owner is a lonely journey. And that's where the idea for Boa came, to build a platform that simplifies the way we're able to connect and support each other. And honestly, a platform that unites entrepreneurs and business owners in Australia in a way that has never before been possible.
So it's a COVID baby, really. Without COVID, do you think you would have ever gone down this route?
No, it's definitely a COVID.
That's crazy.
It's quite literally happened because of COVID.
That's awesome. So the one word you said there that I think is, I think it's super important is that community, right? We all know there's plenty of other business platforms out there. There's plenty of people using platforms for business, whether it be LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, there's loads, right? But I think none of them are a community. And I don't know if you saw this, but I think it was maybe about 6 months ago. Price Waterhouse, they love to do their research. They've done all this research in human behavior since COVID. And the number one thing they're saying human beings are now looking for is community. They are craving community, and they're craving local communities, right? And that's what this sort of life event that happened to everybody has triggered in people's brains. They want to have a sense of community. And I think that's because we were all isolated. I mean, we were isolated at home, and you're right, there wasn't a platform. I mean, CUB did a lot of stuff that was digital, right? And that did connect us. But most people had nothing.
You're exactly right. And honestly, you don't need to be a genius and do a lot of research to figure out that community is important. Like, we're humans.
Yep.
We literally evolved to be in groups.
Villages.
Like, that's how we live. That's how we survive. I even said this, I remember 2 years ago on almost that statement on our first episode.
I think you did, yeah.
But it's because I believe that, and it's just, you can see it. And CUB did that. But this is more because CUB's not accessible to everyone. CUB is a premium brand, which means it does have a premium price. It's restrictive by eligibility, price, geography. We've got the beautiful clubhouses in the major city centres, but time. So there's a lot of factors that will restrict someone from being able to benefit from the CUB community, which, as we know, is a very powerful one. And so Boa's goal is to democratize the ability to access a powerful network to help you succeed in business, to help you make your impact on this world. Because that's what we do in business. Yep. We use business to contribute to society, to contribute to our families, our friends, our teams, the world. That is our vehicle of contribution. And there are a lot of business owners doing that who are either living in regional areas and don't have access to things. New parents, mums and dads who, they have to stay with their children all the time and therefore can't get to networking events and things like that. There are majority of people can't actually access these in-person clubs, whether it be through, being exclusive or other reasons. Yep. And I want to make sure every entrepreneur has access to a network. It's as simple as that.
So let's talk about that, right? Let's say I'm sitting at home, I'm watching this, because everybody watches this show. I'm watching this show and I'm thinking, Boa, okay, I'm going to go and download it. I'm going to download it on my phone. I log in, I create my account. What do I see? What can I expect to see as soon as I sort of log in, other than the beautiful color? Because I do love the color.
Me too. I actually think we nailed the color.
I think you did. It's a cool color.
But, the first thing you're going to see is a very different type of content and conversation than you'll see on any other platform. Yep. Right. The communication on Boa is truly authentic, and it's a community that's far more supportive. It's still a small community, so we're going to have to learn how to scale what I'm describing is happening now. But it is a community that is far more supportive and honest than you're going to see on other platforms. So primarily at the moment, Boa is kind of like a national advisory board of entrepreneurs who can ask a question and receive answers, opinions, and thoughts from thousands of others.
Almost instantly, right?
Yeah,
almost instantly.
You watch it happen. It's
I know. I was watching it before we came on. It's boom, 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 boom.
It's really special. And even when new people, new users, join and they say like, "Oh, I'm so excited to be part of the community," I've just started my first business. And then you see all these like experienced entrepreneurs commenting them, congratulating them, sharing advice, tips. Like I want when someone gets onto the platform for them to feel like they just walked into like their grandparents' house, or they're so special. Like you feel like you make your first post and everyone, you feel that support, because that's something that business owners need. Like, I mean, to business owners watching the show, you've got your family, you don't want to stress them out about, your business and things. You've got your friends that they might not be in the same position or doing the same thing as you, so you can't really speak to them. It's like, I can't speak authentically on a LinkedIn or a Twitter or an Instagram, because, those are places, they're promotional platforms predominantly. So, I always want to look good in them, and they're great for that as well. We love them as well. So where do I turn for the actual reality of business?
The hard stuff.
Yeah, the real stuff.
The real stuff.
Yeah, and that's what you'll find on Boa. You'll find people asking, is it just my business or is it the economy? Like, how are you guys doing at the moment? People are asking for recommendations and tips on which technologies to use for what things. Right now, it really is a national advisory board. But as the user base grows, we have to also create features that facilitate other important things for entrepreneurs. For example, you'll see it happening now. People are already trying to organize coffee catch-ups and events.
Yep.
We need features that facilitate that between members. So I could, look up, I live in Potts Point in Sydney, so I could look up Potts Point business owners. I could see all the people in Potts Point, and I could, send a coffee catch-up request to say, hey, let's catch up for a coffee.
Do a big breakfast.
Yeah, whatever it may be. The other thing that happens a lot on the platform is people ask for recommendations for like service providers. So people are like, hey, I need a it's very frequent. It happens on the CUB app as well. Does anyone know a PR agent, or who uses, like, people ask for podcast studios a lot.
They do.
They recently on Boa anyway. But so it's also going to be a tremendous platform for generating new business, which for every business is very important.
Essential.
And so it's a matter of building that into the platform.
Do you know what I've found fascinating about it? And I was literally watching it for about 10, 15 minutes this morning, is if you go onto any other platform, people are telling you what they've done. That's what they're doing. All the other platforms, that you're just telling people, I've done this, this is a photo.
That's so true.
No one does that on here. No one's telling anyone everything. No one's saying, hey, I landed a deal today. No one's doing that. Everyone's going, anyone know this? I've got this. I've got, it's like they're starting a conversation with thousands of people they've never met. Yeah. You don't see that. None of those other platforms are conversational. You sometimes get a survey, right? Oh, what do you think? Click, click, click. And there's some of that on there. Yeah. But generally, I reckon the bulk of those posts it's almost like they've walked into a bar where they know everyone and they've just said, hey, does anyone know any? That's kind of how it is. I've never seen that before. And it's like that. Everyone's doing that.
But that's a very good point. And I think it's because, like, even we posted on our Instagrams and our LinkedIns today or yesterday, big announcement, just launched.
You're telling everyone.
And that's really important because promotion is very important.
Absolutely.
And those platforms are great for
that's what they are. They're promos.
But Boa is very different. Like, people are really, they're going on Boa and saying things like exactly what I said before. Hey guys, just about to launch my new business. Actually, someone just posted this. Just launched my new business. What are strategies that you have towards gaining, early users or test users to help, kick the snowball down the hill? Or I'm launching my new business. Does anyone have a PR agent they recommend to get a bit of coverage?
Yeah.
Boa is where you ask for help on how to do those things.
Yeah.
After you do them, you then announce them on the other platforms.
You know what we should have done? Maybe we'll do this another time. We should do a show where we pull up the feed and we just watch, right? And we can comment. Well, almost, you watch people commentate on sports, right? And then you got there's people commentate on things like the coronation, right? Or Eurovision Song Contest. Hilarious, right? That you and I should sit here and have a live stream of the app and start commenting on what people are saying. That would be such an awesome episode.
We could maybe put it up on the screen one time. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, not now, but I'm sure we could work out a way. Would that be cool to do that?
I think it would be awesome. I also think that in business, what's important to remember, like, is when you start a new business, and I'm conscious of this with Boa,
Yep.
is that you don't actually know what it's going to become. you have an idea and you have a vision, but business is like a river. You have to follow it. And if you follow it well enough, you dodge the boulders and the fallen trees, and you get around all that. Yeah. You get to the ocean and you find your market. You find your.
You're right, and it's never what you initially thought. Yeah, it's a version of that.
Exactly, and I'm like, speaking on behalf of myself for Boa, I just want to build something valuable to business owners. That's all I want to do. I don't care how I do it. That's what I want to do, and I think that's important to note, because I'm going to evolve the platform to best serve business owners as they request, seeing how they use it and seeing what they want to use it for. And I think that's an important lesson for any.
A lot of smart people on there. A lot of smart people who are happy to voice their opinions, who have ideas. I mean, you've got no control. I mean, you've got some level of control, but you've got no real control on how people are going to use it. They can use it in any which way they want, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to almost dictate where you're really an enabler to enable them to do what they want to do, or they don't even know what they want to, and you don't even know what they might want to do yet. It's going to be fascinating to see what people end up turning it into.
Yeah, and I mean that's I think an important lesson for any business. It's to flow with the river. It's to even maybe just I don't know how to describe that. I just think it's an important lesson. It's something that I'm learning.
Well, think about this, right? Who would have thought when they developed TikTok, it was going to be a platform to talk about conspiracy theories? But no one would, right? But that's all my daughter ever talks to me about when she's looking at it. Who knows where this will go, right? Who knows where it will go?
Yeah. Well, look, as long as it goes in the direction of being valuable and contributing to the lives of business owners, I don't really care. And look, our goal, we do have a clear goal, and that is to build the world's largest network of business owners.
Yep.
So, Facebook was the social media. And then LinkedIn was the professional network.
Yeah, it was. That's how they sold it, wasn't it? I remember that.
And it is. LinkedIn's very much the employee network. For business owners, it's a recruitment platform and perhaps a sales, like a promotional tool.
Yep.
But LinkedIn is majority employees. It's the employee network. The profile is a CV.
Yeah, it is exactly what it is. It's a modern CV.
Exactly. So we're just the next iteration. We're the business owners network. That's what Boa is. And it doesn't mean that my social network isn't relevant to me anymore. It still is. It doesn't mean that my professional network isn't relevant to me anymore. It definitely still is.
Yeah.
But I've got a business owners network, and I can discuss the things that matter to me as an owner with people who get me and are in the same position on that network. And I'll use that for a different purpose than the others.
So tell me, you've got obviously a certain amount of product in there. You're going to be directed by what people want, obviously, but you must have some product ideas, some roadmaps, some features. Is there anything you want to talk about now that is coming, or you want to keep it quiet, or is
I never keep anything quiet. You know me. I tell people things too early. Like sometimes CUB members are like, "When's this happening?" I was like, "It's coming. Don't worry."
Years away.
I thought about it and I just told you that it'll happen. Well, I can tell you how I think it's gonna.
I'd love to know.
So I
remember, this is on film, so we can come back to this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I say this to everyone. I believe it's a community-based platform. So I believe it's going to look very much like Twitter, because I think Twitter is very simple, and I like the function. I like the functionality and the look of Twitter and how simple it is to use. But it's going to have a lot of the functionalities of Reddit, because Reddit is you can tap into all these different relevant communities. And so right now, Boa is basically just one community of business owners, but it won't be for very long. It's already growing too fast. So eventually, I believe Boa is going to be thousands or millions of communities across the world of business owners. So, if I was living in Albury, I could find the Albury business community and join that and communicate and be in contact and see and connect and network with the people in Albury. If I'm a mumpreneur, I can meet other mumpreneurs, or if I want to subscribe to a community that is all about marketing tips and tricks and branding, I can join that and I can have a feed of marketing tips, tricks, and branding. So I believe it's going to look like Twitter. It's going to function or have the functionality of Reddit, a bit simpler to use but be for business owners. So that's what I'm suspecting. It will also have an event, and it'll have event functionality. It's all meeting and event functionality. So I think it's even going to disrupt. I think it's going to disrupt that space as well. So if anyone was going to host a like if you wanted to host, you host events for.
We do.
Yeah. So if anyone ever wanted to host an event with that wanted an audience of owners or entrepreneurs,
Yep.
they could create that event on Boa, promote it through Boa. Let's say it was an event for startups. They could join the startup community in Sydney on Boa or multiple of them, create an event, promote it, and Boa users can see that event, RSVP, purchase tickets if it's a paid event.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to do tremendous. It is a digital product, but it's going to do tremendous things for in-person networking as well.
Travel. Think about travel, right? You turn up and say you get delayed in Singapore. Just get on there. Are there any other business owners stuck in the airport?
Actually, I haven't thought of that, but that's exactly what it could do. I hope it does that.
I'm going to London and I'm going to be there a week on my own and I'm just going to be doing some work. But I could connect with a whole bunch of people that I didn't know before just through the app. It's almost a bit like a dating app in that respect, but it's a business.
Well, it's a community.
It's kind of a similar sort of thing, isn't it?
It's a community.
You can go anywhere in the world, or you will be able to go anywhere in the world, and you'll just be able to go, bang, let's see who's around, let's see if there's anyone interesting. Yeah. You can grow your business when you've just got spare time by just hopping on and hitting. So I guess you can have like a location thing that you can do, so that if you're in a different location, you can connect with other users that are in that location.
It already has that, actually.
It already has that. So when it does go global, God, think how many people are traveling now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dream, and that's definitely the plan. The other thing that I really like the idea of is so as business owners, there's a lot of information in the world you need, whether it be from your government, from news and media, from other businesses, from your network. But currently, it's very hard to get all the information. Like, go to this website, I'm going to go to this website, I forgot my password for this, I've got to log in, and you kind of get lost. Whereas I think Boa would be, and we're definitely working towards this, is putting everything you need to know as a business owner in one place. So working with the media and publications to have a section of Boa where they can stream straight away the most important things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So a budget or an election or something like that. Something that's going to impact business owners.
Yeah, exactly. And then business owners can see that, and if they want to read more, they can go to their websites, whatnot. But at least they've got all the information they need. We're a little we're talking now future, but in the core, Boa is just a community. It's currently in a national community of business owners, and it's going to be a global community of business owners. And it's a community that are part of this platform to seek support and support each other.
And you have to be a business owner to be on, right? So you're only going to be dealing with other business owners. I think that's important because you don't want to have just random people on there talking to business owners about things they don't know. You're going to have genuinely people that are qualified in terms of they're the same. They understand it, they get it, they're living the same life rather than just having an opinion on it. I think that's a key thing.
I think it's the most important thing, and it's the number one thing everybody says to us too. And for me, that's very important because a lot of people say, before I launched Boa, and before people actually saw the type of content that was going on there, people said, what's the difference between Boa and LinkedIn? And to me, the difference is just extraordinarily obvious. It's like LinkedIn is the employee network. It's majority of employees. And it's fantastic for that. Boa is the business owners network. That is a huge difference. To me, it was really obvious. And I even question myself sometimes. I was like, am I an idiot? Is this not does it not make sense? And then I think when we started and people started seeing how they were using Boa and seeing the content and the support, I think it was more obvious to people oh, wow, okay, this is different. This isn't the same. It's kind of hard to describe.
Someone asked me yesterday before the launch. I told them that's where I was going that night. And they said, well, what's the difference? How do I articulate this? And I was like, you know what, Daniel's coming on my show tomorrow. Can you just watch that on Friday? Because it's really hard. But I did. I said, look, it's a community. It's almost like a giant chat room for people to share all their knowledge. And I said, the strange thing about it is, and I've noticed this since I work with startups, but it's not just for startups. It's obviously for all types of businesses. Business owners are extraordinarily generous to other business owners with their knowledge. They're not keeping things in secrets. They're not like that. They will tell you anything if they know you're a business owner.
Yes.
They will share it with you. They get it. It's a club that is a horrible lifestyle in so many ways and great in so many other ways, and you can't understand it unless you've been one. But when you are one, you just feel naturally almost like it's your duty to share information with them, and that is just somewhere where you can do that. You have created a giant chat room for business owners to share everything. That's what it is right now.
Especially especially the modern generation of entrepreneur, and business person, like I actually feel that they're the most generous people I ever come across with everything, whether it be time, knowledge, their network. I'm in CUB, so I'm around business people all the time. But I think modern business is about generosity, and it's about supporting each other, and it's about contributing to the world in a positive way through business. And the more we can lift up our country's business people, our country's business, I shouldn't even say business owners, because we're lifting up their business, which is a community, that is their team, that is the families of their team, that is all their clients and any stakeholder in the business. By lifting all these people up, we're going to be a stronger country. And no government, in my opinion, has ever supported small business
not properly
enough. And I think it's time SMEs and entrepreneurs in this country had a platform where they could support their own platform, where they can take it into their own hands and support each other.
People are going to sell companies on this. They're going to merge. They're going to have partnerships. There's going to be so many. You're going to have all these firsts.
Yeah.
So cool.
I'm excited. It's a bit overwhelming. I actually forgot how scary it is to start a business. Again.
So I do have a question for you, actually. And it's around the tech front. You've never done tech. I've never built a tech business. I'm around tech founders constantly, but I got no idea what it's like. You said, obviously, earlier you feel naked, vulnerable, all those kind of things. What was the hardest point of getting your head around tech? Is it like what you can do or the time it takes? The cost obviously is extraordinary, but what's probably the biggest thing that you didn't expect in building a tech platform?
No, cost-wise, I have a very good network. So I had the costs of the company were very good. Very few people could build what I've built with the money, time, and with how I've done it. But that's because I have a great network.
Yeah.
So no, not that. For me, the problem with tech is there's so many little things that can go wrong, and I think these things happen in real life anyway. Like, that human error always happens. Different salespeople sell things differently. Different service people serve things different. So there's always changes. The problem with technology, it's not a problem, it's just the reality of technology, is that when a button doesn't work the way it was supposed to, or something happens, that person realize that the user knows it's a problem. Whereas if I was selling to you and I sold to you incorrectly,
no one would know.
You didn't know. Like, I could have said anything, you don't know. But,
and they're quick to criticize too, aren't they?
Yeah, but on technology, people are like, "Oh, that's a bug," and they let you know. Now, I've spoken to a lot of, I've got a lot of great mentors in technology, and they all assured me that, trust me, all technology has bugs, and the more you build, there more bugs come, and you just need to get it good enough to function correctly for most people. So, I mean, I think that is one thing, being aware of that, but the other is that you're dealing with large numbers of people and quickly.
Yeah.
So with CUB, we might bring in 25 new members in an entire month. In Boa, we could bring 25 users in a minute.
More.
So yeah, of course, but that's
crazy.
So you have to almost focus very much more on your operation, like your like the induction process needs to be correct. The training process needs to be. So all the same things that I do for CUB, or we do as a team for CUB, need to be inbuilt into the technology of Boa and automated so that every single user has the same, I guess, induction experience. So technology, and the reason I got into tech, because I'm literally technically dyslexic, not good at it. The reason I got into it, though, was because I wanted to serve more business owners. In fact, I want to serve all the business owners. And I knew to do that, I had to get into the world of tech or start a technology company. And that's why I did it.
Okay, last question. Our show audience is nearly exclusively business owners. Not entirely, but massive percentage. Here's your chance. You got one thing. What would you say to them all about Boa right now?
I say you'd be crazy to not have the ability to tap into the collective power of thousands of other Australian entrepreneurs for anything you need.
And it literally is anything.
The biggest risk you can take as an entrepreneur is being on the journey alone.
Yep.
Find your tribe. Find your community that can support you in business, and your life will change.
Oh, you're
Mine
on fire.
certainly
You're
did.
on fire today. That's a great line.
I'm actually tired because we did the media last night. But it's true. I can say it's tired because I know for a fact it's true. I was 23 when I started CUB.
I remember.
I was not the person that could run a company, right? But because I built this network, I was lifted. I was helped by so many people. My success is because I had so much help. We built a network, and I want everybody to have that. And that's why we say to democratize the power of a network. I want everybody to have that, because when you have the help and you have that network, you can accomplish your dreams.
Awesome. Thank you for coming back on.
It's
good to see you again on the show. Obviously, I saw you last night, but it's so cool to see. And we'll definitely find a way to do the commentary thing at some stage, because I just think that'd be super cool.
I love it. I want to hear.
We'll work out. I'm going to talk to them straight after. We'll work out a way to do it. It'd be so cool. But thank you for coming on. Look, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I'm going to be back on there watching it. I think everybody else needs to get back on there and watch it. It's amazing. Let's see what happens. Let's see which way the people take it, really, because that's what's going to happen.
100%. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks, everyone. What an epic show. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to download Boa App. We'll see you next week.